Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be doing my trade targets for round 17, going through who I think is a must almost trade in and who I think we can sort of reevaluate post the Sydney Swans game tonight and see if they actually are the better option, etc. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So a lot of this talk that I'm going to go through is sort of not, I'm going to try and stay clear of the forwards because I sort of went through them with the Josh Dunkley video, that one-off video. So I'm going to try and stay clear of the forwards and more go into the other guys if this is more in reference if he does hold. So first off, out of the guys that I think are good options, anyone out of these 6 defenders, honestly, I do think Harry Himmelberg is a really good option to make cash very quickly. I think he'll go up to 710k very quickly in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. So I think he is a good option. Then you've got obviously Stewart. Sinclair I think is a very good option for people that do not have him, and then Doherty as well I think is a very good option that can shore up your defense as we wait for Sicily to come back next week. And I'll probably give Sicily a week and wait with him because then that'll be but it's against North, so we'll see how it's gonna work with that. I think also then talking about, we'll flick it to defenders. Actually, we'll start off with the defenders, then go to the midfield. Impey I think still out. Vlosten actually has turned up into a good option and does have the run of the draw that you would want. He's gone 99, 117, 102, 106 basically since he came back. Am I a little bit worried that he might not get the fancy scoring options against the Swans? Yeah, a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm not too I don't think he is the number one option, as I am the same sort of similar with Duggan, in that he does have, I think, a really good role now without Shuey and Turn that we've heard about. But do I think he's going to return back to this like 130, 140? I don't think so. Even though he's got Brisbane, I think Brisbane will roll over the top of them. So he's one to probably hold. I don't think you should go for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if people do go for him. Ryan, I think, showed us why I don't think he's an option next week. And Sheasel, Day, I don't think these guys are options. Then we're starting to get down to guys that I really don't like as well down here as well, so I wouldn't be going for any of these guys. Sheasel is iffy at best, I think, and I don't see him returning to sort of that top 6 defender type mold, and I don't see him being the type of guy that can go consistently be that sort of pop off in one game and then return back, especially with the midfield role, and he's got Geelong, so I don't expect him to do terribly well. Then we move on to the midfielders. This is probably going to be a little bit short of a video because there isn't much to talk about. So I think with the midfielders, anyone here in this top 7 for me would be, I think, usable. I think Neil, who I'm going to probably bring in, is going to be one of the best to bring in this week, as he has the Eagles. Yes, he does have Geelong and Melbourne he scored 94 against, and he hasn't played Geelong yet this year. Then he plays the Suns, who he did play 117, and Freo is next. Freo, then Adelaide. And he's played Adelaide for 100 and Freo for 119, so it looks like his draw is really opening up. So I'd go for him. And then Crouch, obviously, I think is one of the guys that a lot of people have been bringing in because he's just been ridiculous these last couple of weeks and has really rocketed up. Tom Green, most people have. Petrarca, I think, without Oliver for the next couple of weeks, it looks like. I think he is definitely one, as he's gone pretty consistent without Oliver in. I mean, I think Oliver sat in round 11 or something like that, and since then he's gone at a low 103, but outside of that 103, it's 116. So I think that's really positive. Brayshaw is a really good pickup. I'm pretty sure looking at that numbers, he hasn't dropped below basically 100 since round 5. I know he did score a 99, but he hasn't really dropped below 100 except for this round 5 game. And he's got Carlton, Collingwood, and then a good, pretty good, at least a good fixture, I think. AFL Fantasy, two out of 3 games here, at least, should score well. And also, I think Carlton and Collingwood are good for midfielders as well. Bont has Collingwood, which should be really good. Then the Swans, which could, but he's a taller mid, so it should help him out actually, so he should be fine. Then he has a good run there at the end in round 22 and 3. And then you also see Merritt, I think, also has a pretty good run after getting through these next couple of weeks. Then we move on to the people I don't have in my side. And you've got Sarong here, I think, is a very, very good pickup for the same reasons as Brayshaw. You got Oliver as well, who's still out. Treloar, I think, is a really good pickup. Just be wary of his injury concerns. So I would be picking him up later, to be honest. If you can pick him up sort of in a couple of weeks' time, around 20 or so, then I think you could do well with that, as he's got a really good draw. Tom Mitchell, I think, is also a pretty decent pickup. He's back to that, averaging almost 100, and I think he's a really good pickup, as well as being able to land a lot of tackles should really help. And he is playing the Bulldogs, and he's got Freo, etc. So I think he's got a pretty kind draw. Anderson I don't like with Touk coming back. Parker, I think that midfield is stacked, and we're waiting for Warner to come back, which should disrupt that midfield a little bit. Parrish, McRae as well, I think is another good option, especially because he is a forward. Yes, I talked about him in the Dunkley one, but I think he is certainly a very good option against Collingwood, who should give him a +5 or 6. So I think Parrish, I think, is the one that I think out of all these top guys that I've mentioned that are sort of definitely a decent enough option, is the one that I've missed, just because I don't know how he's going to return in his 3rd game post-injury, and how the Essendon midfield role is really going to work. Laird, I wouldn't go for as well, just he's really inconsistent at the moment. Kelly's out injured. Shearer is someone that I think you could look at. But I think he's been just a little bit too inconsistent. And then you got Kelly, Libba, and then Henry, I think, is another option that you could go for. I just need to check where he's been listed before I go with it. So AFL teams, and then we'll just look here, and we'll see where is Freo. Freo's here, and where is he lining up? He's lining up on the wing, so that's an awkward one. So or I don't know if you'd necessarily want to go with him, but I'll check tonight whether that position actually holds up with the wing role or not before jumping completely onto him or not, depending on Sheldrick's score. And then also we got anyone else here? I think Butters also is another one that you could drop to, or Cogs, as we told about in the Dunkley review. Warner's out still. Will Day I don't like, as I talked about earlier. Martin, I think McCluggage has his role is basically better, just depending on Dunkley. Fiorini I don't like, and then that's basically it. And is there any real ruckman that we can look at? Because there has been murmurs of just in recent terms about Marshall being double rucked with Campbell, and that sort of destroys him. So you could look at Williams as well. Williams could be looked at, as I think he's done really well in his last 3. You could look at O'Brien as well, but he's only had 1 good game to really show for it. To bang up that average. Briggs, I think, had 1 bad game, so I wouldn't really be jumping on him. And Nank's been all right, but not really crazy good. And Blickards, I don't think you can jump on at all. And Darcy and Jackson sort of the same. I think Darcy does get a little bit limited by the fact that he had this 34-point game. Then Gawn I don't think is an option. Witts I don't think. McInerney, I don't think any of these guys are options. That's basically the video there. And if I go back to the main screen, that's the video there. And I'll see you guys in the predictions as well as my team reveal. That's really already been revealed, honestly. But that'll be another short video, I think. Thanks, guys, and goodbye.